Please come in, be seated. Welcome to From the Ground to the Cloud, Google Mapping Tools for Conservation. My name is Rebecca Moore, and I'm the head of Google Earth Outreach and Google Earth Engine. And we are very grateful to all of you for choosing to attend this workshop of all the many things you could be doing at IUCN. We're very excited to have you here because you are where the action is. We are all counting on you guys to save the planet. You know, with all the trends that we know so well, climate change and population growth and urban development, your work has never been more important than it is now. And we know that you need tools. And we believe we have a few that can be of service to you. So I'm going to say just a few words, and then we have a very action-packed workshop for you today that we hope you will find useful. So Google Earth and Google Maps, undoubtedly you're familiar with these. We've now recently hit more than 1 billion downloads of Google Earth. Google Maps is the most popular online web mapping service in the world. More than 1 billion people use it every month. It's in more than 50 languages. It covers the population, or the language of more than 90% of the world's population. This is quite relevant when you're doing local conservation efforts and you want to engage the local and indigenous communities. We've been very surprised to see the kinds of applications that have been springing up all over the world from local communities when you put these kinds of tools in their hands. Our goal is that these tools provide the most accurate, comprehensive, and up-to-date face maps of geographic data, satellite imagery, and map data in the world, and that these tools are the most easy to use. But are we done? No, because the world is changing. And while Google Earth and Google Maps give you, we think, an unprecedented ability to visualize the planet, to visualize satellite imagery, they've not offered the ability to measure change, to do science. And so what we're going to talk about in this workshop today are not only Google Earth and Maps, but also some of our newer tools, Google Earth Engine, Google Maps Engine, that allow you as an organization to manage huge global scale databases and provide petabyte scale analytical tools to extract meaningful information of value to conservation projects. One thing about tools, though, is that if you have a hammer, there's that saying, if you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. We know that Google tools do not solve all your problems, right? And there are Esri tools, there are open source tools, there's fantastic other mapping tools. Great, use those. Our goal today is to try to show you our tool chain, how they work together today, where they're going, and integration points of our tools with other tools, so you have everything at your disposal that can be of use. So we have a high-profile, fantastic team of Googlers here. I'd like to briefly introduce. I'm going to actually end with Karen. So Tanya Birch, our program manager on Google Earth Outreach. Dave Thau is a developer advocate on Google Earth Engine. He works with our science partners. Raleigh Seamster, program manager on Google Earth Outreach. Christian Adams is a developer advocate on Google Earth Outreach. And Karen Tuxen-Bettman is a GIS specialist on the Google Earth Outreach team, and she is the person who has put together this whole thing. So don't applaud her yet, but at the end, I'm going to ask you to do so. We're also very honored that we have 4 partner organizations that have applied our tools successfully already to conservation projects, and they're going to be speaking to you about them today. Tim Boucher and Jennifer Molinar, there they are. Nature Conservancy, talking about the Atlas of Global Conservation. George Whittemire of Save the Elephants. Is he here yet? Okay, there we are, great. Michael Shui of WWF in Indonesia, talking about the Eyes on the Forest project, and Lillian Pintea, whom I don't see yet, from Jane Goodall Institute, talking about community forest monitoring. These partners will be on the panel this afternoon. So with that, because we do have so much to cover in one day, I'm going to immediately turn it over to Karen Tuxen-Bettman, who will guide you further through our intro. Thank you. And enjoy the day.
Yes, we're going to have lots of fun. Thank you everyone again for coming. We're very excited for the day and to get started. With that, I want to give the overview of the tools that we're going to be learning today and really set the scene for how they work together. And I think some of the things we hear from nonprofits and other public benefit groups, people who are working in conservation, is that there's a lot of tools they don't know which one to use. And so hopefully the next few minutes will just set the scene a little bit and allow you to understand the differences between them and how they work together. Many of you have heard of Google Earth and Google Maps. They are our base geo products. A lot of our other products really display data in them, but they are also authoring environments. You can add points and lines and polygons in both Google Earth and Google Maps. Google Earth is, of course, three-dimensional, virtual globe, and Google Maps is a 2D, but also you can go between Google Earth and Google Maps online on maps.google.com. And there's a third tool here that is not so new anymore, but some people still haven't experimented with it, and that's called Fusion Tables, Google Fusion Tables. And it's a great name for it because it's basically the ability to upload table data onto the web and fuse it with other table data that people may have shared or that you may have in your arsenal, and then visualize it in many different ways: timelines, charts, network graphs, maps, intensity charts. There's lots of different things, and we're going to be demoing that and getting some presentation this afternoon on some of the partners that are using Fusion Tables. So these are three tools that allow you to author your data. The next kind of set of tools, or tool, is tools that help you collect data in the field for mobile data collection. There are a lot of tools out there, and they're all good. I think what makes Open Data Kit on Android platform very interesting is because it's meant to be very simple, very easy to use, touch screen, smartphone enabled data collection platform. You can create the forms, and we're going to be walking you through that today. So this is collecting data that is already out there in the field. And then once you have all that data that you've authored or collected, and maybe you're sharing data and people are sharing data with you, your colleagues, so you find data online, you want to store it in one place and you want to host it all and easily publish to Google Maps and Earth. That's one of our newer tools called Google Maps Engine. You can think about this tool as being able to store your GIS and geodata repository in the cloud. This isn't a free product. Everything I've talked about already is free, but this is not a free product. But as a nonprofit organization in numerous countries, you can get it for free. And we're constantly rolling that out to additional countries. So if you're not on that list yet, you hopefully will be soon. And we can talk about that later. But yeah, this is a very important tool for the future for managing permissions and managing collaborators and have different access to your data. Those of you who are familiar with Google Docs, where you can keep a doc private, you can give somebody view access, or you can give somebody edit access. The same goes for this, which is really powerful when it comes to map data, because sometimes you want people to see it but not edit it, or you want to keep it private just to your organization or maybe another organization. So this tool allows you to do that. And then finally, so far we've talked about authoring and collecting and hosting, but what if you actually want to ask some questions and do some analysis? Well, Google Earth Engine allows for these kinds of geo-analysis, and that includes image analysis, remote sensing in the cloud, and for very large data sets. Imagine having the power of, I don't even know, hundreds and hundreds and thousands of Google servers working for you and processing your data, whether that's for one country or one national park, or for the entire globe, or for the entire one biome, whatever you want to process on a very large scale. The Google servers and Google technology can handle it, and that's through this tool. Now there's a lot of tools I just mentioned, and let's look at how they work together. And this schematic is a work in progress. We were up kind of late debating on how these tools, it's really hard to figure out all the connections without being overpowered by arrows. But you can see here on the left, data authoring, data creation, and visualization. We mentioned Earthen Maps and ODK on smartphones. And that's true. Those are definitely how to author and collect data and create data, and also how to visualize it. And then Earth Engine is for the analysis, and then Maps Engine is for hosting. I also put Fusion Tables in this bucket as well, because Fusion Tables is kind of a lightweight spatial database in the cloud. You can host your tables and host those any map that you create from those tables, you can also host them in the cloud. So you can imagine that anything you host in the cloud, you can visualize in Earthen Maps and embed it on your website really easily. Anything you host in the cloud, you can pull into Earth Engine to analyze. Anything you create from Earth Engine, say a classified map of 2013 land cover, you can then pull that into Maps Engine and incorporate into your maps, or visualize on Earthen Maps. So they all work together, but they kind of have specific roles in the entire puzzle. All right, that's my last slide. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, there we go. Agenda. I wanted to just quickly cover the agenda and when you'll be learning these different tools. We're going to start with Raleigh. She's going to give you an introduction to Google Maps and Google Earth for data creation and authoring. And she will cover Google Fusion Tables a little bit too. And then after she presents, I will talk about, and we'll have some hands-on with that too. We'll open up Google Earth and start adding points. Those people who are GIS specialists or those that have used it before, this may be a little review, but we definitely have tutorials that we point to on our website where you can get more advanced if you want during that time. Then the next thing we're going to learn is Google Maps Engine, and I will present that, and we'll learn how to upload our GIS data and how to create maps with that tool. And then at 12:30, Dave Thau will be talking about Earth Engine, and we're actually going to zoom into an area on the planet and do some remote sensing and do some classification in the cloud. And then we have lunch. Well, we have lunch in between that presentation. And we're going to have lunch brought to us. And we got some lunch boxes and sandwich boxes, so we hope you guys stay and have lunch with us. It'll allow us not to go out and have to wait in long lines, only to come back and to be late. You're welcome to go if you want, but it would be fun to stay here and actually maybe those people who want extra time with us, maybe some specific questions, we can answer those then as well. Then we have more of a demo from Tanya about the ODK on smartphones. We do have some examples. We have some ODK loaded on phones that you can swipe and get used to, but we don't have enough time today to go outside and collect data. It takes about an hour to really get some good demos there. But if you're interested in that, we can by all means meet up at the booth later this week or this evening and do some more conversations and testing in the field with that. And then final, we're really proud to have our panel with us, and they're going to be having a lightning round presentations, really show you what it looks like to deploy these tools in combination with other tools out there for their conservation work and the kind of impact it's had. So that's going to be a great piece of our agenda. So I want to also bring your attention to our website. We use Google Sites a lot at Google. It's kind of a free website creation platform, and the websites, we use them internally all the time for different projects, if you want to put stuff about projects and share them with our colleagues. We also use them for our workshops, and it's really easy to create. Once we've created one, we can create templates and copy, and this is what we do for every workshop we give, and this is the one for this workshop. And this will be up forever. This is never going down. So if you ever...
It's a history of time.
if a year from now, or 2 years, and, because there's 4 years to the next one, and we may not see you, of course you can email us, but it's always nice to have this website because you may forget our email, or you may forget where the tutorials are, what you learned during this workshop, and you want to go back and this will have it, and this will have it up there. And you can see the second tab from the left is the Conservation Campus page, and the entire agenda where you can download slides, link to the different websites that our panelists are going to be talking about, all of the above. This is there, and we may even be adding it to it during this workshop as things that we haven't thought of to come up. So with that, I will put on the Wi-Fi, which is actually back up. We're going to use the hotel Wi-Fi until, and those are backups in case, because the hotel Wi-Fi is very fast. So we hope that it keeps working, and we have backup just in case. All right, so I'm going to hand it over to Raleigh, and we can all start actually getting our hands dirty.
Hi, so while I'm setting up here, as Karen said, we are going to get our hands dirty with Google Earth. And if anyone has not downloaded Google Earth, if you could raise your hand and I'll ask members of the team to come over and make sure you get it downloaded. So if anyone doesn't have Google Earth on their computer, go ahead and raise your hand. Thank you. I'm just going to get set up here. And if you do already have it, you can go ahead and open it up. Okay, so I'm going to cover some of the basics on how to create maps in Google Earth, Google Maps, and Google Fusion Tables. So how many of you have used Google Earth to create maps before? You could raise your hands. Okay, great. How many of you have used a feature called Custom Maps or My Maps on Google Maps to create maps? And then how many of you have used Fusion Tables before? Okay, so a good amount. For those of you who've already used this is going to be very basic review, but it looks like a lot of people are new to it as well. Google has a lot of amazing tools in order to help you create maps, and I'm going to start with Google Earth. As Karen introduced, Google Earth is a virtual 3D globe. It's a software that you download to your computer, as you already have, and it brings the world's geographic information to your fingertips. And this includes things like satellite and aerial imagery, road data, terrain data, ocean data, and much, much more. So I'm going to dive right into Google Earth and show you the interface so that you get familiar with it. Okay, and feel free to follow along as I go. So the very first thing that you can do in Google Earth is you can search the world with it. So if you see the search box at the upper left-hand corner, I can type in a city, a country, a place of interest, a mountain, and search for it here. So I'm going to start with Jeju and hit the search button, and it'll locate the area and fly you straight to it. Okay, so now we're right above Jeju, and this is a very interesting view, but perhaps you want to look at it from a different angle. You might want to get closer, get further away, and really explore the area. So next I'm going to show you how you navigate in Google Earth. There are many different ways. I'm going to show you the control panel first. Over here in the top right, you'll see several little controls to help you navigate around Google Earth. The first one at the top, you'll see there's a compass there, so it'll always show you which direction you're looking in. And then it has the circle with the eye. And that's how you look in different directions in Google Earth. So if you click the up arrow, you'll see that you start to click up. You can click, click, click. You can hold it down to go faster, and you can hold it down and drag upwards to go even faster. And of course, you can look right and left and down. So that's the first button. The second one you see here has a hand, and that's how you move. You can move forward, to the side, or backwards by clicking these arrows on the hand. And in the same way, you can hold it down and drag the mouse in order to move faster. Then the last one I'm going to show you is the zoom slider right here. And this is what allows you to get closer to the ground and move further away. So if I click the plus button, I can move in closer. And similarly, the minus button moves you further away. So those are the controls. You can also use your keyboard and a mouse to navigate as well. If you have a mouse, you may not have it today, but back at home, you can use the little wheel to go closer, to zoom in closer or zoom further away. You can click the wheel down and drag your mouse down or up in order to tilt and rotate around the Earth. There are also a few handy keyboard shortcuts that you can use on your laptop. You can use the Command or Apple key, or Control on a PC and Apple key on a Mac in order to look up, look down, or look around. And then you can use the Shift key with the arrow keys in order to tilt the Earth up and down and rotate around. So this becomes important later when we're going to talk about touring, animating, and Google Earth. These shortcuts come in very handy. Another way you can get around in Google Earth is actually to double-click on things in the Places panel, which I'm going to talk about next.